Hey guys, we're going to give it just a minute, let some people hop on. I just uploaded a video, so it shouldn't take too long for everybody to get over here. And I look absolutely crazy because I've been cleaning all day and editing and finishing editing and all of that. So I look a little crazy, but okay. So we're going to go ahead and start. So number one, I just want to say that some things that were in my last live, which I am not going to take down, because I don't want to take that live down. And I went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth with my attorney, and I have decided to not take that live down. It's going to stay. But from that live moving forward, I have to be careful about certain aspects of the situation that I can tell you guys. I'm going to do a whole separate story time about some of the things that have transpired, since for the most part, it has been Olive. What did I call them? Olive and Tulip. Olive and Tulip, which are Wanda's daughters. What has transpired since that last live has involved them the most. But just keep in mind, I am having to cut out some stuff that I'm about to update you guys on, simply because my attorneys have advised me to do so. You were just watching the girlfriend email video. Yeah. So if you have not watched that live, you need to go watch that and then come back. Okay. I will have this live posted. So I have a little cheat sheet here next to me of what I'm going to say, what I'm going to keep in a story time, and things that I can't say right now, anyways. Just know that eventually I am going to share with you guys this entire story. If it only helps one soul, then that's all that matters to me. If it helps more, fantastic. So, a little bit of a backstory. Wanda, which is this person's real name, was the girlfriend to my stalker. Okay. His real name was obviously not Waldo. Waldo is just what I call him, and it is very close to his actual name. It is not. It is not that crease. So what you're seeing right now is flip-flopped for what you guys see on camera. So just keep that in mind. It's usually like flip-flopped. Well, no. So this right here, when I film a video, is clamped over here. Okay. I just don't have all of this clamped right now. So normally it's clamped all the way over. Just keep that in mind. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So Waldo is obviously not his real name. Okay. I have to be very careful of what I say here right now, anyways. When Wanda came into the picture, she was just as nuts as him. And I do not use that term loosely. I do not call people nuts for no goddamn reason. These two people were fucking nuts. Okay. And I got a job at an Applebee's when all of this shit was at the peak. Okay. It was after the cruise. It was after he was literally living in my fucking house. It was after he had been caught in the back seat of my car. It was after the 3 next story times that you guys are about to get. And it was right before the end of everything happening. Okay. And I'm going to continue to tell this story in a timeline because I am going to protect people by, not saying names and not giving specific time frames. But you know what? To tell this story and to truly help someone, I'm going to continue the rest of my stalker story in the order of which it happened. Okay. So we're going to fast forward through everything and we're going to go to when I met Olive. Okay. Olive is Wanda's daughter. I did not know this at the time. I was working at an Applebee's and I was at like the peak of my depression. The guy that I was talking to at the time, which we're going to leave his name anonymous because he's no longer in this world. And I just don't I just don't want to mention his name. But, anyways, at the time, we were like on the rocks because it was a lot to be with me. It was a lot to be my friend. It was a lot to be in my life because I constantly had this motherfucker stalking me. And now it had become him and his girlfriend. So they would do it separately. They would stalk me together. Like, they did not care. So we were kind of in a area at this time where we were just kind of talking. We weren't living together anymore, and we had a lot of time. Dolly, don't you do it. And there was a lot of extra free time that had come up because I wasn't spending every night with him or every day with him. And this new girl starts at my job, and real pretty, real funny. Everybody loved her. And her name was Olive. Now, right away, me and Olive click immediately. And now looking back, I realized that she was fed things of my interest because it was like everything we had in common. We liked the same movies. We liked the same music. We were the same age, which was a lie. Everything. So we started hanging out a lot, and she would come to my house. Keep that in mind, okay? She would come to my house. We would hang out. We went on 2 road trips together. Keep that in mind because now that everything's happened, now it all makes sense. But there's a story time coming about that road trip. In the end, she invites me, and I thought that this was weird, but she continued to like beg me to like come stay at her house. And my boyfriend, we'll just call him John, was like, Morgan, I really don't want you to go stay at this girl's house. She's weird. She's weird. You don't see it, but she's weird. And like all of our coworkers had now like realized who Olive was and what she was doing. And they were all like, Morgan, I don't trust her. She's weird. She had gotten fired from our job. Like everything started to like simmer. And me being me, the Sagittarius that I am, I continued to be friends with this girl. And so she had continuously begged me to stay the night with her. And so I did. And that would be the night that everything came crashing down to an end. And I'm going to tell you guys that full story. But I just need to mention Olive and her twin sister, we're going to call Tulip, because they are going to be significantly important after we finish the cruise ship series. So the very last part is going to come on Thursday. That's the final part of how everything ended. And I just want to say a huge shout out to one of my dear friends, Daniel. He actually worked on this Carnival cruise ship, and we became friends because of this incident. Because had this situation not been handled in the way that it was, I don't know like what I would have done. Like, honest to God, like I was for real about to have my nanny pay $50,000 to get me a private plane off of an island back to the United States. Like, it was that serious. Like, I was for real on my last freaking, like, it was it. Like, when I finally had confirmation that he had been on that cruise ship the whole time. And not only him and her, they had both been on this cruise ship together. I would later find out years later when all this came to an end that Tulip and Olive were also on this ship. Like, this was like a family affair. Like, they did this shit together. Like, I was their goddamn hobby. You understand me? So I just want to let you guys know that I'm going to continue to tell this story. I'm going to now start telling it in chronological order. There are 2 stories that happened prior to the cruise ship, but I'm probably going to save those for a later time. I just want to get the Stalker series pretty much over. And then later down the road, I will kind of let you guys know other tidbits that happened throughout the years, the decade that Waldo stalked me. Also, if you watched my Instagram live the other night and you heard me slip Waldo's real name, I'm just going to ask again that you please do not share his name. At this time, I've been advised to not share his name, and I accidentally did on that live. And I don't want to take that live down because we had a good time, but please, If you follow me on Instagram and you caught that live, please do not share his real name. I didn't say his last name, but I did say his real first name. And yes, they are absolutely insane. It's just even more insane that we are in 2021. I'm about to be 32 whole ass years old, and this shit is still going on. And keep in mind that her daughters are nearly 40. They're 5 years older than me. So, and like I said, Olive, when she started working at Applebee's, which is like one of the only jobs this bitch had, like she acted like she was my age. And like, yes, she's gorgeous. So I didn't even question it. Like, I'm not going to question someone's age. Like, yeah, he's dead, but there are situations that you guys don't know. Like, you just have to trust me that I cannot say his real name right now. It's just, I have been advised by my attorneys not to say his real name. And I just have to follow. As soon as I can share more, I will share. Like, you just have to understand there's one story that I can't share right now. It basically boils down to his brother still being alive, which is very much involved in this story as well. I haven't brought him up yet. He will be brought up in the next story time, not Thursdays. That's going to be like the final bit of the cruise ship story, but the next story is going to involve Tulip, Olive, Wanda, Waldo, and Waldo's brother. And after I tell those stories, as soon as I get the go ahead and the green light to share real names, I will. I'll never share last names. But yes, Waldo is dead. His brother is still alive. From what I understand, he has COVID pneumonia right now, which I don't wish death on anyone. I really don't. But Waldo and his brother are the closest thing to like Satan I've ever, like, they're just evil. They're just straight up evil. Because the night that everything went down at the end, all of them were there. And if it wouldn't have been for John, like, God only knows what their actual plan was to do with me. I have no clue. I still to this day don't even know like what the actual obsession was. I don't know. I don't know. This man came to my job. I worked at a movie theater. For those of you guys who haven't watched like the beginning, how all this started, I've already told that story. But I was a young girl, okay, in high school, working at a movie theater. And I was like the box girl. So I would give out tickets. And Waldo came to watch a movie. And he started stalking me immediately, like waiting out in the parking lot. And to the point to where my boss would like follow me out to the parking lot. And I was stupid. I gave this man my phone number because I was real shy and timid and I didn't know how to tell like a grown ass, old ass man no. So I gave him my actual real phone number. And that started it all because for the rest of the time, in his mind, he genuinely thought that I had a thing for him. Even though he was like dating a woman and they were like raising her daughters supposedly together or whatever, like still in his mind, I wanted this. Like I wanted to be stalked. We were together in his mind. So it's just a lot of fucked up shit and there's a lot of fucked up people involved basically, and my lawyers think it's in my best interest to not share actual names until they're dead. But I told them that I wanted to share Wanda's name. I really don't give a fuck. And I've made it very clear of what boundaries I have set up, what the law says, and I will pay for someone to sit outside of my house every goddamn day. I don't give a fuck. Like, honest to God, with the way my neighbor is, like, Wanda, I really don't suggest you come on our property, like, for real, because it's like not the vibe. I'm just here to tell you. But there's one other thing that I need to update you guys on. I will, Claire. I will. Um, there's a couple of things. One other that has to do with this whole stalker fiasco, and the other one is just a side note. And then we're also going to talk about why the podcast didn't go up yesterday. So The next thing that I need to let you guys know, because I filmed this video months ago, and I think I'm just going to refilm it at this point, just because it's not going to make sense for me just to throw. There's 6 people in here, and I have, almost 900 subscribers, and everybody's followed this, stalker story. So I can't just pick it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't just throw all of these names and all of these situations out at you guys and expect for you guys to know and hope that you guys watch this live. Okay. So there is one other person. Okay. And this was a friend of mine who I thought was a friend of mine. Me and her went to high school together. We were very good friends, and she ended up betraying me in a very fucked up way. So she and I were living together at one point in that townhouse that was real creepy. And after she stole from me, me and her were no longer very close friends. And she went on her way and I went on mine. Well, we ended up making up a few years later. And she apologized to my nanny and all this and that. And my stalker reached out to her at some point and asked for her to try to get me in a certain place at a certain time, which just so happened to be a park that I've grew up around my whole life. It's called Fountain City Park. You can Google it. And I was meeting her there. From what I understood at the time, I was very much into a weight loss journey. And so I was under the assumption that she and I were meeting at the park to go walk, like we were just going to walk. And like right across the street from Fountain City Park, there is a Froyo, which is like frozen yogurt. So we were going to go across the street and have Froyo. When I get to the park, she's nowhere. And I wasn't familiar if she had a car, if she drove, like I didn't know. Um, so I'm just like standing outside of my car, which is stupid. If you go to a park, even if you're familiar with it and it's late at night and it's dark and you're waiting on someone, don't get out of your car and just stand there vulnerably alone. That was stupid. But again, I was young and I'm just standing there looking around. Yeah, babe. You don't have to whisper. It's on that dresser. So I'm just standing there and I'm on my phone, and I think I might have tried to call her. I can't remember. And I hear her phone ring. So I'm like, she must be here somewhere. So I go to there's like an art center at one side of the park. And I go and kind of peek around that center because I heard the phone like on the other side of that center. And so I go and peek around and she's standing there with Waldo. And at this time, this was like peak action, like things are not good. Things are really bad. I am in a constant state of fear all the time. I am in a constant state of anxiety all the time. I am scared of my own goddamn shadow. So I had gotten a carry permit and I was carrying a gun. And that is because I was terrified. If you've ever been in this situation where you are literally scared to go and get groceries, like you are scared to be in your own home. Like at this point, this motherfucker had already been caught living in my goddamn attic. Like he was living under our porch. Like he followed me on a cruise ship out of the country. He followed me out of state. I was terrified of this man, okay? And I know people have their own opinions about guns, but guys, I was not I was terrified of just this one individual. And so I had a little, like the whole 9 yards. I had a little carrying case on the side of my literal yoga pants. And it was something else too, because my yoga pants weren't strong enough for the gun holder. What do you even call that? I can't think. Um, it's going to bother me. Anyways, it wasn't strong enough, so it was like weighing down my yoga pants, but I didn't care. Like, that's how scared I was. And I had carried mace and a taser before, and this motherfucker, a taser didn't do anything. So before anybody's a holster, yes. So before anybody says, why didn't you carry a taser? I tased this motherfucker like 4 times one night in a pumpkin patch, which that story is coming. Don't you worry. We were in a goddamn corn maze. And think about that. Think about that. You're thinking that, like, you know, Voorhees is about to jump out the goddamn corn maze. And no, it's your stalker, bitch. Surprise. Yeah, I tased him in a corn maze and he started chasing me. And I tased him like 6 more times and he just kept running. So that is when I upgraded to my pistol. So I see them standing there and she's just got this shit eating smile on her face, like I'm supposed to laugh, or I don't know what she thought. And I'm like, are you fucking, you did this? Like, I look at her and, Waldo's just insane. And he's like, "Oh, she just wants us to be together. She just wants you to be happy." I'm like, you don't make me happy. You make me want to die. And he did. That was the truth. I was super, and this is, complete trigger warning, but I was very suicidal at the time. I was miserable. Like, I was not able to live my life. This is a big reason that I got very addicted to heroin. Like, I was so goddamn miserable. And, I went to go reach for my gun and he fucking starts running with his old ass. And he runs this way and I run back towards my car. And she's like, "Who's giving me a ride?" And I turned around and I said, "I don't know, bitch. You're stuck. Far as who's giving you a ride? Yeah, come on and get in my car, you dumb hoe." Well, what brings all of this up is, number one, I was about to tell this story. And I always do a courtesy just to see, I always base it off, am I in the mood to say this person's name? Okay, number one. Number two, I DM the people to let them know, hey, I'm about to tell this story. Do I have your permission to say your name? Like, she DMs me and she says, you don't have permission to say the story. I said, okay, I'm not asking your permission for the story, bitch. It's my story. It's my life. I will protect your name if you don't want your name said, which I wouldn't either. If I had done some shit like that, I wouldn't want nobody to know what the fuck my name was. And she's not wanting me to tell her name. And at this point, I'm petty. Okay. Petty patties come out. And I literally call my fucking lawyer and I'm like, David, I really want to say this bitch's name, like, really bad. And he's like, don't say her name. I'm like, fuck, I really want to say her name because she is a cunt. Well, he has pulled my subscribers for me and it's only like the username. So I would have to know just based off the username. And he pulled my subscribers and we were searching for a specific username because I know what and I've got to be careful what I say here, guys, because I don't want this person to know that I'm looking for them, if that makes sense. Anyways, in the process, I found out that she is a subscriber of mine. And I guess she watches quite a lot of my videos. And I didn't even know that you could pull this, but I guess you can when you have a situation like this going on where basically I'm just trying to reinforce a restraining order, like just make sure that it's like in good standings, if that makes sense. And I found out that she's a subscriber of mine, which I knew that she low key like followed me on Instagram for a long time. Like, she catfished. Like, she did this all the time. Like, she's a really pretty girl, but she's thicker. She's a bigger girl, which is fine. I am too. It's great. We're in 2021. Men like some meat. It's fine. Whatever. Anyways, it's very her though to do this, and she catfishes. That's what she does. And so I knew that on the DL, she followed me on Instagram under a picture of a girl that was one of the girls from the Cheetah Girls. What is her name? Adrian. Anyways, so when I seen the username with that photo as the picture, I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And then her name is like Audra. She's always used that name. So yeah, I found out that she's a subscriber. So I asked her one more time if she would care if I said her name. She didn't respond. So we're not going to be saying her name, but I do just want you guys to know a little bit of a backstory because I'm probably going to cut the park part out. I might leave it in. I might re-say all that stuff just so you guys can kind of know like where she and I were when she did what she did next. And apparently, according to her, when we went to court and all this shit came to an end, apparently her whole case is that he was offering to pay her a lot of money, enough to get a car to do what she was doing. Which, regardless, even if you're not my friend, even if you don't know me at all, if some random motherfucker walks up to me, and I don't care if I've been eating fucking trash dinner for 3 days, I don't care. If some random motherfucker walks up to me and says, "Hey, I stalk this girl. Could you get her to meet up with me?" And then just wait till you guys find out what she did in the next story time. Could you do this for me and I'll buy you a car? I'd be like, get fucked. I don't want a car. Like, I just couldn't imagine doing this shit. Even more that she was like my best friend. We lived together. We experienced like super paranormal shit. She was my roommate when we used the Ouija board. Like, we went through all that shit together. And then she stole from me and I cut her off and we kind of went on and did our own thing, like didn't talk for a long time. And then the next time I see her is when she has Waldo in the park to meet me at like 9:00 at night. So that was the first thing I wanted to do. I wanted to kind of bring her in. We're going to call her Jenny. And if she's watching this, she's going to be so pissed, but that's not your name. That's not your name. Yeah, we're going to introduce Jenny. So we've got Jenny, we've got Olive and Tulip, which are the twin daughters to Wanda. And then there's Waldo's brother, which what do I want to call him? Did I already say it? I don't have it written down on this piece of paper. Does anybody know if I said what we're going to call Waldo's brother? Because I written down on my piece of paper. No. Let's call him Tommy. We'll call him Tommy. Maybe. All right. Second thing, reason why the podcast didn't go up yesterday. So basically, I had to get an okay for this podcast because it is sponsored. Well, it was sponsored by one brand. And then I sent them a podcast 4 times that they said was too raunchy, too much, which is what this podcast is. This podcast is, I wouldn't even have created a podcast if it wasn't for this. This is a place where I can tell my stories nitty gritty, like how they are, like the stories that I could never tell on YouTube. That's what my podcast is. So after this last time, which I was waiting for them to approve, literally on Sunday, yesterday, I'm waiting to get approval from this brand, and they never give me the okay. So I just send them an email and I said, what do I need to do to get out of this contract? Like, I don't even care about the fucking sponsorship no more. Like, this is bullshit. Like, I'll send you all of your products back. Like, I'm so pissed. Like, this podcast, I wanted out by Sunday, and you guys have fucked me around so long. Like, I'm just pissed. So I finally was able to get out of that contract today, and I got another sponsor. An even better sponsor that I'm super fucking excited about. So we're going to do that instead. And I had to push the podcast back a week, which really sucks. But I have to fit the new clips of this brand. I have to do some more editing basically. So I'm sorry guys. I know that sucks. I might do like a little short story time and surprise you guys with it this week on the podcast. So if you haven't already downloaded the SoundCloud app, and go like Stories of a Chubby Chick with Morgan Shea, that is the podcast. It is going to be all the raunchy shit that I can't say on YouTube. Plus, we're going to talk some extra fun stuff on there too, true crime and conspiracy theories and all kinds of things. So be sure that you are liking that over on SoundCloud. And then the last thing I wanted to show you guys and see if you guys would be into me working with a different brand. These nails right here are Glamnetic, the ones that you see on my nails, which I have gotten so many compliments of these nails. These are super duper cute. These are called the Wild Card Glamnetic nails, and they are super duper cute. I like them. What do you guys think? I was thinking that we could send 2 of you guys a pack of these nails and a pack of magnetic lashes with the podcast. So let me know what you guys think about Glamnetic. Are you guys into them? What do you think? Also, I got added onto a PR list, which is super exciting. And it's like a brand that I fuck with heavy. So I'm very excited about that. So we're going to be trying out some of those products. And then this is the other brand that is working with me who did this watch and this bracelet. They're also working with me on the podcast, and I'll be sharing with you guys different links and stuff like that to get you guys some pretty jewelry. I want you guys to continue to still be really excited and hyped about the podcast because a lot of really cool things are coming from there. I've got some cool people that are going to be on the podcast and who are going to star in it, if you want to say it that way. So be sure that you guys are downloading that app. Also, I am doing a shout out thing until we hit 1,000. So I have had several of you guys reach out and want to help the channel. And I want to just say thank you again. There has been 3 or 4 of you guys do that now. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. There was only a couple of you guys who wanted your guys' name shared. So there was one of you guys who did not want their name shared. So I'm going to keep that promise to them. So Anonymous, you were the first one. I want to say thank you so much for supporting the channel. It means so much to me that you support me like that. That's so fucking fire. Like you have no idea. And I love you. You're a real one. We actually even exchanged phone numbers and all kinds of stuff. So it's dope. The second person is, let's see. We're just going to call her Olivia. The second person is Olivia. Thank you, Olivia, for helping out the channel. You are everything and more. She's actually been one of the ones to follow me from like the beginning, like with my old channel. Like I remember her from like the old channel. And then there's just a user with numbers. Thank you for helping the channel and supporting me. I want to let all of you guys know that all of you who have donated in the last 2 weeks to the channel, all of your money went to our new camera. This week's video was the first video that you guys got to see with that camera. So let me know down in the comments what you think of the quality of that camera because all of your guys' money went towards that camera. So I thank you guys so much for helping me get that camera. I do have one more big purchase, though, that I have to get, and it's for the podcast, and I really need it. I really need it to really help enhance the sound just because I really don't fuck with the way the sound is right now. So I need to get a couple of more microphones. So if you would like to help out this channel, I need you now. I need you now because we need this. We have sponsors and they want a certain kind of quality. And your girl has already put in every dime because I just ordered. I ordered one set of the freaking microphones, and I need help with the other set. So I am not monetized. I do all of this on my own dime. So if you really fuck with me, I would really, really appreciate it. I will give you a shout out. And if you want, we can exchange numbers. I've already exchanged numbers with two of you guys. And I love talking to you guys. So I love you all so much. And I really do not feel like doing Patreon. That was the whole reason I wanted to do the podcast, because I don't feel like comfortable asking you guys to pay a monthly membership fee. Like, I don't fuck with that. So I would much rather just, like, if I need help with something, like if you want to help, you can, or just donate whenever you want. Like, I always have my PayPal and my Cash App down in the description box. But this week, guys, I really need some fucking help. Like, I really do. Really, really, and truly. So, plus now we've got fucking lawyer's fees and shit. Like, shit's getting real because I can't even tell a motherfucking story anymore. It's my story. Like, that's what blows me away. But we're not going to get off on that tangent. So, yeah, if you can help Miss Shay this week, I would really greatly appreciate it. We need some microphones for this podcast, and I have to have these microphones by Friday. So please, 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 if you can, my Cash App or PayPal is down below. And if you prefer to do anything else, just email me at questionsforshay@gmail.com, and we can do whatever you want to do, except for bank to bank, because I don't know how to do that shit. So, hi, Brittany. I'm glad you made a live. Yay. But anyways, guys, yeah, I just wanted to come on here and catch you guys up with some new characters, I guess you could say, that are going to come into these story times, and also let you guys know that I was fully prepared to tell you guys Waldo's real name this week. But after speaking with my lawyer, it has been said that I really need to wait just a little bit longer. So everything will make sense in the end. I promise you, everything will make sense. We have some really fun sponsors coming up. We are going to have the podcast. I hope by the end of this week, if I can get the other microphones that I need, we are definitely going to have the podcast by the end of this week. And yeah, you guys, thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. I love you all so fucking much. And I cannot believe that we are almost monetized. Also, I had a couple of emails after this last video that came out today asking about what I meant by 6 winners when we hit 1,000. So the first 5 or 4 winners in my giveaway was the 100 subscriber, 2, 3, and 4. I've already announced those and gave those winners their prizes. So we are going to do the 500 subscriber winner, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that's 6 winners. So if you comment frequently in my videos and you're subscribed, then more than likely you're going to win. I'm going to pick 6 people. So and let me give you guys a secret emoji for this week's video. Hold on, let me move my microphone. Let's do this one. Oh. I was like, where are all these E's coming from? It's because my microphone was sitting on the thing. All right, y'all. There is the secret emoji. Be sure that you do comment that secret emoji like in the actual comments. Awesome, Brittany. I hope you enjoy it. Be sure that you do comment the secret emoji in the actual comment section, not in this live chat, because it goes away. And yeah, guys, I love you all, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.